So this is just a quick announcement. So I decided to start a cigarette empire next year, right? In 2022. In 2022, I'm going to be extremely busy. Dating is going to be the last thing on my mind. I'm a man. Horny is a freak. I am a freak. I do everything there is. 50 Shades of Blue, in my opinion. And I'm folks till I die. MOD till I die. And Disciples Control Chicago, etc., etc. Latin Kings on my left side, that's a government ship as well. Now, I no longer have to donate because when you gangbang, you have to donate every week. And to your juntas and to your chief, out of respect and out of authorities that they have against you or on top of you. So I was speaking to my governor because I go to the governor first before I go to the rest of the Ds that are OGs. And I was like, yo, well, I'm going to start a cigarette empire. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what you finna do? And he's like, well, what I finna do is I brought a nicotine pound, a nicotine only. And I got the cigarette ports. And I finna learn how to just go ahead and put them in the machine, which is $10. And then I'm going to start my own cigarettes, just selling $1 a piece outside. And I'll go to the gym and tell them to quit smoking to fight 10 years of dying earlier. Meaning my entire family has died of cancer. If it wasn't a heart thing, it was a diabetes thing that led to a cancer thing or from a cancer thing, back and forth. My entire family died with cancer in their system. Every grandfather, every grandmother. Now, the only one I think that didn't die with cancer in her system was my grandmother, but she died out of psychological problems due to infidelity when my grandfather got old. And if you think you can spend a lifetime, now they come from the old age, right? So the old age, there was no internet. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There wasn't your ability to be insecure about your body like these women that try to hit on me on Instagram. They pretend to be somebody else. I could tell by their full name they're not that person. They still continue to lie to me that they are that person. I've gotten 0 video chats on Instagram. 0. The last Asian that tried to hit on me was saying, "Oh yeah, we could chat right now, video chat you right now." She's like, "Let's just go on WhatsApp." I'm like, "Why can we not do it on here?" Last message received from her. Last message I sent to the other lady trying to date me. She says she's in love with me. It's impossible to love me because you just see what I do online. Meaning we've never even had a single date in person. Another person that refuses to video chat me. And I even told her, I'm like, if you're ugly or fat, I would have dated you anyway as an OG out of respect. And I would have seen who you are, learned who you are, and then decide whether the dating should go even further. Now, because of these reasons, and I don't have 200K subscribers, or followers rather, on Instagram, I decided a long time ago, why even bother dating online? It's like a big controversy joke, All these people that will go on me video chatting when I start to invite people onto my live chats and I have enough thousands of followers where I could actually have people watching me. That's going to take monetary promotions. Facebook's going to take monetary promotions. Google's definitely going to take monetary promotions for me to get 1,000 subscribers and start monetizing that account. Snapchat, monetization at this point. I already reached the limit that I can just quick add somebody. Twitter, monetization. TikTok, definite monetization if you want a lot of followers. I'm getting followers at a time on TikTok. It's averaging like 3 to 5 a day. I ain't got time for that. I go live on TikTok and it bothers me because everybody just wants to jump in and out. There was only 2 people that saw me for the whole hour long motivational speaking. I don't know if they were women or men, because it's easy to just put logos on TikTok and pretend you are who you not are. Am I under investigation? Yes. But, I had an argument with my mother that I'm not going to get into. Now, my governor, what I did was I asked him a question. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do with my empire, this and that. He's like, well, dude, well, the rural state that I'm in, it's like $6 a pack. He doesn't smoke cigarettes. And I was like, and? And I was like, do the math. He was like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, my neighbor smokes. I was like, yeah, I know. She smokes. She's a chain smoker. I'm a chain smoker. I'm like, chain smoker makes you do like a pack a day, not a pack every 2 days. So do the math. So then he's like, all right, man, I'll look into it. So then another conversation I had with my father was like, oh, when are you going to refinance your home? And he was like, I'm not. I don't need to. It's less than 15 years. I was like, exactly. So you're paying double the interest? You of all people should know better than that. He's like, you're right. Okay, I'm going to check into that. So here's what I told my governor, out of respect for him. I said, what I'm finna do is stop teaching you things. Second, what I'm finna do is just go ahead and make a $10,000 check come to me in person. Then I'm gonna make a copy of that check, blur out the numbers, of course. And then, because it's online, you can't trust that. I trust my governor to the rest of my life. But online, you can't trust anything or anyone. And it's so sad. It's incredibly sad. I know when I video chat in the future, women are going to have kids, and I could care less. If they're fertile, I do care, because I want about 6 to 12 kids. And, not only am I going to fight for full custody with my ex-wife, it's because she upset me today. And she reminded me she's a bitch, and she reminded me that she's a terrible person when it comes to not being with you. So if she's dating a black man, I could care less. But the fact is that you should not upset a person like me. And I told her, and I wrote her back, I'm like, you should be glad I am not mad. And then I ended it there. Not because I'm under investigation, but because I'm a very smart man. And the fact is that I have no desire to be like the Bolingbrook police officer that just decided to kill 2 of his wives and get away with it. No desire to kill the mother of my son. No desire whatsoever. Her to make me mad is going to make me mad to the person she's dating. That's what'll make me mad. And then I'll just have to go box them and go from there. And you will never know all the martial arts I know. You will just know that I'm into UFC. That's it. I'll never teach you about all the martial arts I know. I will never teach martial arts. Now, there's this man called Keith, and I know his last name. I lost his phone number with all the issues of losing one phone to another. And, of course, nobody's watching this in the middle of the night. And Saturday night, Sunday morning. And, is it Saturday night? No, wait a minute. What day is it? Yeah, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I like to double check things because I don't like to be incorrect or inaccurate. Last thing I do, OGs do not lie. Because MLDs do not lie. So we were born and raised to not lie and remain silent. So when I was talking to one of his KBDs that I was talking to on Facebook Messenger, conversation went like this. Boom, boom, boom. Then, okay, MLDs don't ask questions. Why the fuck you were locked up till 2005? And he did like an 11 to 14 year bid. And a bid is a prison sentence. And if you don't understand silence, you're an idiot. If you're a white man that's never been a gay lord or a freak in Chicago, you need to listen to this. You need to remain silent on everything you talk about. You have to pretend your entire life the FBI is recording this. I had a conversation with my mother that upset me, but I'll never be upset at my mother. Never be ever mad at my mother. Never. That, she was the last person I threatened when I got into the medication that was given to me by the FBI. And I call it medication because it is medication. It's to stimulate your emotions. It's to stimulate your feelings. It's to make me want to have one of the worst panic attacks I've had since I was a bus driver at Pace. To this day, I don't understand why I had panic attacks at Pace. I know I hated the people that were on there that were real mean, real vicious, and drugs this and drugs that, and let me smoke weed on the bus, and let me drink while I'm on the bus, and et cetera, et cetera. The one guy that smoked weed on my bus, I was sober the entire time I was a Pace bus driver. Besides beer here or there type of guy. And not while I drive. I don't drink and drive. You drink and drive, you're a fucking idiot. That was the other federal informant. He got caught with DUI and pills. I believe that's the true part of his story. I believe his age is the true part of his story. Because in order for them to investigate me, they have to have the true part of the story involved with why they're investigating him. So they're professionally trained. You know, they receive text messages while they're with me, pretending it's from their girlfriend, so that I don't look at their phone. And they don't give me their full names, the real full names, because I can Google their felonies. Kicks D, never asked him for his full name because I knew what was happening by then. Oscar, I knew by the psych ward what was happening with him. So I didn't ask his full name either, his real name. He had to pretend word silent. Was he a felon? Maybe, maybe not. Was he a D, neutron in Cook County? With a tattoo of D's? Absolutely not. He made up the expression that he knew head dog. You could totally tell 100% between a neutron and a gangbanger. It's easy for me. You have to be a gangbanger for it to be easy to you. Other than that, you're like, oh, you grew up in the hood, man. That's a hood nigga. That's a hood spec. He's cute, man. He's so cute. You know, that's what women think. Women could give a fuck about your drug history, give a fuck about your alcoholism history, give a fuck about your drug dealing history, give a fuck about your gang history. Women just care if you're cute, if you got a brain, if you want to like just pleasure them, orally and sexually and all these other natures. You know, that's usually what 9 times out of 10 whites sleep with blacks and Hispanics for. Whites that are kind of racist sleep with only whites, but it's only kind of racist. The reason I say that is because if you look at the Kardashians, they're all into blacks except Kendall. Or is it Kylie? No, Kendall Jenner. Kylie Jenner obviously is into blacks as well. Has a black child. So I know they're not racist. I know the Kardashians are not racist because the mother ended up with a black man. So they're definitely not racist. Now, so I'm talking to the governor. I was like, well, you make these amount of cigarettes, and if it's $6 a pack down there, that means nicotine is 10 times cheaper than it is here in Chicago. And you know what? And then I just made the decision while I was talking to him out of respect. I don't swear to him. And I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stop teaching you things. And he stayed quiet because that's what we teach to ourselves. And we got taught by our chiefs is to remain silent. And he remained silent about everything. Like I told him, Weasel was over here trying to tell me about his lockup history, but I didn't ask about why he got locked up. And you know what my governor said? 0. All he told me was his nickname. That's it. And then I didn't even ask for his nickname when we were talking. Because the reason you don't ask questions, whites, blacks, and Hispanics, especially Asians, is if you ask questions about the crimes they are involved with, then you just put yourself into the court case. So now you are going to be a felon in the future, which means you're weak, which means you're scared, which means you're afraid, which means you're going to get incarcerated as well. 9 times out of 10, the women will just become tricks, meaning snitches. 9 times out of 10, the neutrons will just become tricks, snitches. And, that's what the neutron did to me. I think he wanted to become a federal informant to then erase his DUI and get his license back. So sad, so sad. It would probably cost him like $15,000 to get his license back, $20,000 probably. Now, there is no public defender for that. When I start my projects, there will be a public defender working there. I was thinking about 24 hours, and that's kind of dumb. I'm like, go grocer 24 hours makes sense. Nurse makes sense. But a lawyer 9 to 5, Monday through Sunday, that makes sense. Because court cases happen and kids get locked up. Grandchildren will get locked up and the parents' children will get locked up. So I was thinking about it. I was like, well, 9 to 5 attorneys make more sense because if they get locked up in the middle of the night, they're going to be locked up in the middle of the night anyway to the next day. So it doesn't matter. So unless they have the money to bail them out immediately or I bond them, which is usually zero amount of money or $100. So gun cases here, I believe, are an I bond, something I refuse to Google as well. There's a lot of things I refuse to Google, like Bloods and Crips, because they don't exist in Chicago. That's the other thing the federal informant told me. The other federal informant in the psych ward was like, "Oh, you could have up to 4 ounces of marijuana. It's just a misdemeanor. This and that." Like, these people are idiots. I can tell they're federal informants the moment I was in there, and I knew I was going to be investigated when I went public with my video, because I knew I was under investigation for the family and friends, because of my stepsister's father told me that the family and friends are going to be under investigation, and until she gets her job and et cetera, or 9 months to a year. So I'm sure it's 9 months to a year. They have to go spick and span through other friends and family to make sure you're not a criminal yourself, the CPD. So, the governor ended the conversation. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a $10,000 check that I got for 1 month. And then since your 10-year felony is about to end, you'll be able to get your life insurance policy. You're smart, so I don't even have to worry about you in the book. If you want the book, I'll buy it for you, but you don't buy books for people, because if you buy books for them, they never read it. So they have to buy their own books from me for $60, $66. And in my opinion, I'll buy a stack of books and then just sell them. Because if people don't make purchases for things, like they purchase alcohol and Newports, they don't smoke them and drink them. If they get them for free, they're like, "Oh, what is this shady shit? This must be like non-alcoholic beer they're trying to make look like real beer." Now, 9 to 5 is the wrong time to motivationally speak, but I can do it whenever I want. I try to post it around 5 o'clock so that people can see it when they come home at night. I only do hour longs, because the grocer told me a long time ago to do that, and then I thought about it. I was like, well, motivationally speaking, it should be an hour long. That makes sense, because when you're doing presentations in public, they have to at least be an hour long. Now, if you watch Grant Cardone, his are until he decides to end it. Now, if you want to spend $10,000 to $15,000 to go see his course about investing in real estate, you have that money, I highly recommend it. Do I look high to you right now? No. Now, the fact is that I have zero marijuana in my system. I refuse to have a job being under investigation, because it would just be a disaster. I like to make sure sounds mean what they're supposed to mean. So, besides the fact that I'm silent, when you go public with things, it's either your mentality is very smart or you're very irate. And when the $80 turned to $100, I became irate, because it basically got increased $20 overnight, and I was pissed off. And that's the end of the story there. Now, the grocer, we were talking to him, and he was like, "Man, stay away." He was like, "Stay away." He kept saying the word, "Stay away, stay away." I was like, well, because he knows I'm on investigation. I was like, well, I am staying away. I'm staying away from everybody. Even when I'm at the gym, I don't talk to anybody. He was like, "Good, just stay away." He's like, "That guy that you were talking about, that Neutron, I don't think he even lives here." I was like, well, maybe he moved. Maybe something else happened. I have no idea. Did I ask him a question? These are how many questions I asked him. If you ask questions, okay, if you're a Neutron asking an OG question, first thing that'll happen is they won't tell you shit. Second thing that'll happen is if you get them drunk and blasted to the point where they do tell you something, you just put yourself into the court case. You just made yourself a felon, and then you just made yourself a trick on an OG. And then that OG, when he gets out of prison, good luck with your life. Now, OGs were born and raised a different way than you were. especially neutrons. When I go on TikTok, there's this one neutron trying to get me to rap. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna rap for a neutron? This neutron is whack. You know, his name is Chris something. And, cause I ain't gonna say his full name. And it's like, I can't rap for a neutron. You know, if a black nigga that's hood or a spick that's hood come to me and says, yo, why don't you rap with me? I'll rap with him. And I won't swear. But a neutron making me not swear on TikTok, fuck you. Now, the fact is this. If you're a hot rapper and you're black or Hispanic, I'll flow with you. If you're white, you're part racist in your body. If I see your wife is white, then you're part racist. If I see your wife is black, nah, I trust you. If I see your wife is Hispanic, nah, I trust you. If I see your wife is Asian, I kind of trust you. Because I have no knowledge of Asian and refuse to Google triad. Refuse to Google triad. Refuse to use that word as well. I did a video from Ron to Strong a while back, and I told him, I was like, dig, I'm like, you know, you ever hear me use the words Miami? And, you know, that's Mexican mafia. And you ain't supposed to ever say that. You should never say the two words El Chapo, which is shorty, short man, short person, in Mexican. Don't you ever use that fucking word. If I haven't done you one fucking favor, let this be it. To never ever use the words Miami. Never, as I'm talking quietly right now, use the word El Chapo. Not because I'm 1/4 Mexican, 3/4 Puerto Rican, but the fact is that part black being Puerto Rican, 100% family in Mexico, Texas, New Mexico, thousands. Do you ever hear me talk about them? No. I never talk about Miami because Miami can get you assassinated. It's easy in Chicago, Illinois, and the projects in the O'Hare Pavilion that I live in, for El Chapo's best friend to live next door. Hello. And it's easy for anybody to go ahead and decide to kill you. You know, it's easy for any of those situations to happen. So if you want to go ahead and talk about the Mexican mafia, they are the strongest mafia in the United States. They are the richest mafia in the United States. They have the most control in the United States. Because they're Mexican, they are connected to most of America. Just think about Texas. I'm 100% family there. I've gone to Texas 0 times. I'm 44 years of age. My father refused to take me to Texas. Refused. He wanted to take me one time because it was a 95-year-old aunt that he was afraid was just going to die soon. We had Uncle Mac that died when he was 95 years old. Mexicans have good bloodlines. Now, blacks have bad bloodlines because their roots are from fucking slavery till 1994 in Africa. So if you don't think slaves still exist till today, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. Stop following me. If you don't believe slave is in my bloodline, being part black, being Puerto Rican, stop following me. If you don't believe I'm a motivational speaker on Mondays or Thursdays and I try not to swear in those days, stop fucking following me. And if you do me a fucking favor, video chat my ass. I've had 0 video chats on Instagram, and for the love of God, I don't even understand it. My governor finna see my $10,000 check one day, and I told him, what I'm finna do is just send you this $10,000 picture of my check. Then you can decide whether you want to do it or not. And that'll be your decision, not mine. Because what you do is, you don't force your governor to do shit at all. You don't ask him bad questions. You just stay nice. And I told him, look, Dave, man, I'm just trying to send you love, which is amor in Spanish, and that's how MLDs talk. And, you know, I'm just trying to send you some love, dog. And he's like, all right, cool, man. He's like, it is what it is. I'm like, all right, bet. So then he didn't say what it is, but that's my opinion. And I was like, you know, the fact is that, you know, when I try to teach you things, I feel like you don't listen to me, man. And he's like, you know, he stays quiet because we practice silence. And then he was like, well then, I mean, how you finna do that? Like, how you finna build a cigarette empire and a dog walking empire? I'm like, nigga, have I ever been unsuccessful in anything I've done? And I stayed quiet. You know what he did? Say nothing. I said I was successful at Chase. I was successful at AAA. I was successful at ATA as a customer service agent. I was a successful loan officer, successful trainer loan officer. What have you seen me fail on? He stayed quiet because I was right. Now, the fact is that I have a private Instagram account. I barely go on there because it's private. I'll accept a few people here and there, and that's about it. I probably got like 100 people on there. It's going to remain that way. It's just for family and friends. And this one is my public account. I will not close this account. Once I get to 1,000 followers, my passwords and all that is going to increase. I'm going to have the 2-stage to go ahead and make sure my account isn't deactivated because I'm highly intelligent. So if you have a regular Instagram account, a couple 100 followers, and just for family and friends, you don't have to worry about that. Just have it open every time you open your phone. Now, if you get 1,000 followers and you're going above that because you're really trying to be a public figure, then do the 2 steps of passwords. If I haven't taught you anything today, I'm going to post this. If I haven't taught you anything today, the fact that I got 0 video chats and the person was trying to put me on WhatsApp, she was trying to make an excuse because she had a son. Oh, I can't video chat you right now. Oh, well, let's WhatsApp later, so they can send me videos, Like the one African American that was trying to sleep with me. She was like, oh, yeah, let's video chat right now. So then she shows me a video. Then she disconnects it. And then she says, oh, that was just my bad connection. Bullshit. If you're in the United States, there is no bad connection. Now, if you're in the middle of the desert in Africa, there is a bad connection. If you're in the middle of the desert in California to Nevada, there is a bad connection. If you're in Alligator Alley in Florida, there is no connection. There's alligators that were surrounded by you, and since they killed so many people from cars breaking down, they decided to put gates up. People that live there aren't afraid of alligators. Now, you have to understand the people that live there probably carry rifles and shotguns to fight themselves from alligators attacking their children. So that's why they're not afraid. I was not in the mood of motivationally speak. I was in the mood to talk to you about cigarettes. And, sometimes I go to different locations in my mind because, my mind works 100 miles per hour. It's hard to put to sleep. And the only reason I call it 100 miles per hour is because Elon Musk was doing this one video. I see about 6 to 10 videos of his a day. And as well as Jeff Bezos, who I love and hate. I love him for his ability to want to go to Mars and his ships, but the problem is that he's terrible to his employees, which are mostly black in the suburbs of Illinois. As a Lyft driver, I learned that. And the moment they come into my car, they say the same thing. Every single one of them, man or woman, and it's mostly women for whatever reason, come into my car and say, Mark, I'm going to go to sleep. If you need to talk to me, just wake me up. This is what they do when they get in my car. This is why I love Jeff Bezos, for him becoming a trillion business. But I hate Jeff Bezos for the analytics he uses to make them work harder and harder. If blacks are getting into my car and passing out so that they can take a 45-minute drive home, that pisses me off. That really upsets me about Jeff Bezos, because you have an analytics plan that says, oh, that women can, put 5 packages in a minute, then she can do 15 in a minute. Oh, she was able to do 15 in a minute. Raise it to 20. Did she actually do 20 a minute? She can do 25. That's what they do. They have weight limits for women. They have no weight limits for men. And if it's too heavy to carry, then they just pick it up probably with electronics. Tesla is going to start a restaurant, cell phone company, trucking, buses, cars, you name it, he will do it. The reason is he's not trying to fight against McDonald's. He's not trying to fight against Burger King. He's trying to increase the United States and then the rest of the world. He's trying to make it to the point that we can live off the sun, because if we do not live off the sun, we are going to die on this planet. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is the planet. Now, our planet atmosphere is controversial. The Ice Age took place 10,000 years ago. Today's 2021. Do the math. He says that humans were born on 7,000 to 8,000 years ago. Do the math. 2021. Now, if you don't believe in the Ice Age, so what? This African American, your whole family were just chilling in the snow? No, that didn't happen. You think they were just fucking all of a sudden raising their own cows in the Ice Age? No, that didn't happen. Oh, they were with mammoths hanging out like they were dinosaurs. No. They were killing mammoths? No, that didn't happen. So if you don't believe the Ice Age took place 10,000 years ago, if you didn't do this science experiment in my kitchen to see if this was really possible, that human beings were born out of bacteria, as well as animals, as well as fish, as well as everyone in the ocean and things that we can't see in the depths of the ocean we can't reach. You know, sometimes I ask myself, why am I even motivationally speaking? I ask myself, why am I even online every day? It's such a boredom sometimes. It's not a boredom when I rap, because I love rap music. I believe in Def Jam. The way it was born was with a $600,000 check. And in the 80s, that's $6 million. Now, that white man that did it is not racist. Love black people. You know, Run DMC. Okay, that was started because of him and Russell. So, was it Russell Simmons? Yeah, I think so. So then they separated the company. Then he did a funeral for the word deaf. This is how much I researched. TV off again. He did a funeral for the word deaf because he didn't like how it was being used in a dictionary. Because deaf all of a sudden was being called a different word because of Def Jam. Def Records. So Def Jam Records. So then basically, you know, when you are like me and you have the brain that I have because of traumatic brain injury, I went from allergic to algebra and geometry to all of a sudden being able to do calculus. You know, my ability to become the mayor of Chicago, for me, I think it's going to be hard and easy. It's going to be hard while I'm under investigation. It's going to be easy after that. You know, you don't fuck with the government, okay? They canceled my Chase account the day of I was supposed to receive my disability check. You know, they can cancel anything on me. My phone went from having 3 phone numbers for my 2 business lines to 5 phone numbers all of a sudden. From 1 account to 2 accounts. You know, that's to find out if I was a drug dealer, if I had the ability to pay that money, which I do not, because I'm 100% against drugs. I'm 100% against cocaine, methamphetamines, and heroin. Lean, which is cough syrup mixed with 7-Up or whatever you want to mix it with, that's to make it Purple Rain. And then what it is that it makes you sedated to the point that you can kill yourself. So good luck, Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne probably does it because he probably has a nurse 24 hours an hour at his crib, and which is a house, if you don't know what that is. And I'm sure that he has the nurses test the prostitutes that he sleeps with. And then once the results come back, he'll sleep with them without a condom because there's porns of him sleeping without condoms. So if you're in Africa, okay, for example, I speak to a pastor in Africa, just one. It was 2 before, but he stopped listening to me. And I told him to stop blowing up my phone and calling me consistently if I'm busy. He ignored me and continued to do it. So I ended up defriending him. He got $2,000 from me, which is $20 in U.S. currency. and he got all the Bibles for his entire church minus two. And, he insulted me by not listening to me. So that's it. I defriended him. I gangbanged him and the other pastor from Mbaju, from Uganda, to the one in Kenya, because you have to gangbang pastors because they don't know how to gangbang. So I gangbanged them against each other to make sure they were both pastors. So they gangbanged against each other, and they're both pastors. Now, the other one is kind of making me suspicious that he's a hustler, because anyone can dress like a pastor. But I've gotten 0 video chats, bunch of pictures, but 0 video chats from his orphanage. The next investment I make with him in December will be to find out if he's going to video chat me his orphanage. Okay, I said his orphanage, not somebody else's. So if he doesn't prove to me that it's his orphanage, another defriending. So then where I'll go from there is I'm just going to stop wasting my time with pastors in Africa, because then it'll be unfortunate that they're liars as well, or don't listen to me. And then I'll just remain in Chicago. I have my sole proprietorship here in Chicago. It'll turn into LLC once I make $60,000, my accountant said. I had a Jewish man said, "Oh, you gangbanging online, you should have LLC right away, blah, blah," which is like $200 and something, something I don't have because I'm disabled. I have a broken molar, okay, which I've had for a month. And I just asked my father this weekend, I'm like, would you pay for me to go to a therapist? I have a therapist and a psychiatrist and medication for it. I'm like, would you pay for me to go get my dental work? Because I'm in pain now. He's like, you're in pain now? How long has it been broken? It's been broken for a month. But I've been waiting to see if, it would just survive it and I'll be able to get my own money to go to the dentist. So then the next morning, he talks to his wife, highly intelligent wife, my stepmother. She's got 2 degrees and college degrees. So I think 2 masters. And that's how smart she is. My stepsister is smart because of my stepmother. I'm a good salesman because of my father. Because since the first murder I witnessed as a kid, he didn't want me to get the press. So he introduced Tony Robbins to me and took away B96, which is the hot radio station here in Chicago, Illinois. So he took B96 away from me because it was rap music on top of rap music on top of rap music. So he didn't want me to listen to rap music anymore because he didn't want me to become ghetto. So by the time I was 14, I became ghetto anyway. And by the 15, I got violated by Big Charlie. Lucifer knocked me out. Tigger hated me, et cetera, et cetera. Kicks D was part of KC. He was another federal informant that was here. And I knew I had a federal informant while I was in a psych ward because it was obvious that the Neutron had the information that he had. FBI know better than that. So they train them better than that. They have phone calls in between the psych ward and them. He would pretend to call his girlfriend and, he pretend to have a girlfriend and pretend to a lot of things. Now, you have to understand, I knew I was under federal investigation because I knew my stepfather told me that was going to happen. So if I went public, either I'm psychotic or I'm smart. That's your decision to decide which one it is. Now, if I'm willing to get investigated by the FBI, that's not fun. That's not fun. Not fun at all. To go to psych ward, not fun at all. Not fun at all. I have no idea. Unless you've been to a psych ward, you don't know what it's like. I remember the counselor coming to me and saying, why don't you want to go to the other side, which is the nice side, where they do motivational speaking? I said, because the motivational speaking hasn't taught me shit. He was like, you don't feel like you're learning anything from them? I'm like, no, I don't feel like I'm learning anything from them because I'm a motivational speaker myself. He was like, oh, okay. So then he walked away. They had the fake 50-year-old pretending to be a 4-year-old hit him while I was walked away. And I thought actually hook took place. And So then our rules were to not touch somebody because of the pandemic, and probably the rules before that. Um, so then I just knocked on a glass door for the nurses to come out and save him. Could I have tackled the guy that was mentally challenged? Of course I could have. Could I have beat him up? Of course I could have. Could I have broken his arm 10 times? Of course I could have. Could I have knocked him out 10 times? Of course I could have. Now, if he was mentally challenged, that kind of disturbed me, because if he was mentally challenged, then I do not want to do that to a mentally challenged man. Now, if he's a phenomenal actor, which I think he's a phenomenal actor, Jesus Christ, that guy doesn't get an Oscar for what he did. Oh my gosh. He needs an Oscar for the performance he did there. He slept for 16 hours to pretend he was a baby. He used to walk around slowly like this and touching doorknobs, holding doorknobs, holding doorknobs, holding doorknobs. Phenomenal actor. Federal informants have to do certain things, depending on how serious their crime was. So if their felony was basic, then they just have to give basic duty to get out of it. If their felony was bad, like tax evasion, something serious, internet, IT, something very serious, they become phenomenal actors instantly. They become trained phenomenal actors. Federal informants are trained. Oscar was trained. He brought up Fullerton and Mannheim, Latin Kings. I was like, nigga, I don't even know that one. You told me that shit. And he was like, oh, okay. Neutrons don't find out from other neutrons their gang affiliations, because neutrons separate gang affiliations with neutrons. So, you know, he probably had that fake pitchfork on his wrist, probably showed it to the dude to make sure he saw it. Then he brought Kiggs D to make sure that he knew that he was an MLD from KC to me. Then I texted that guy the next day. I was like, run from the FBI. After I got the medication from the FBI to stimulate my emotions, made me want to shoot my sister and my father and my brother-in-law in the face. I never did it, thank God. And the fact is that they made me to the point that I wanted to commit murder. So then they had another, you know, the day they had Kicks D come here, they're like, well, why don't you just go to the, you know, go find some weed with this nigga. So we're everywhere. We're walking around trying to get the debit card to work. He can't get the debit card to work. I'm like, I used to work for Chase Bank, car customer service. He wouldn't fucking listen to me. So I'm thinking, this nigga's a fucking idiot, fucking moron, man. He won't even call customer service. So then I'm like, I don't got money for the $200 to buy weed. What the fuck? So we get to the crib, whatever. He's finally got the $200. So we get the $200, and I'm like, man, where the fuck can I get this money? I mean, this weed from? I'm like, I can get it here, I can get it there, I can get it here. I'm like, man, where the fuck can I get it? So I was thinking I was calling this one guy, but I had a question mark next to the name, so I knew I was confused about the number. So I didn't know if he had changed his number, and I got confused with it. So I ended up calling him to see if he knew anybody else that could send me weed. And it was a wrong number. And it was the number to the German Indian, who then had a son with guns, told Kicks D, I don't trick. I've never tricked in my whole fucking life, god damn it. And I'm not a snitch. MODs don't fucking snitch. And, that put me in the attitude right quick. I get distracted when I get in the attitude, bro. So we went to the German Indian lady's apartment, got the weed, came back, smoked it. And they tried to pretend he had asthma, because I have asthma. And he had the same phone that I had. You know, that's how smart they are. FBI, you don't fuck with them. They're smart. They're smart. They're smart. You have to be highly intelligent to work for the FBI. Not only do you have to be in the law enforcement, but you have to be extremely intelligent to work for them. They will put you through a 9-month to 12-month investigation and find out all your family and friends and your entire history. That takes a long time. So, you know, I believe I was under investigation. But like I told my dad, I was like, I was under investigation but I have to act like I'm under investigation for my entire life. And I was like, I said this and that to him. He's like, what do you mean? What is a neutron? I was like, oh my God, I just had this conversation with my stepmother. It's not science. Neutron means you're not folks of people, meaning you're not a gang member. My father was never a gang member. He doesn't even understand half the shit I tell him. So I don't even tell him most of the shit anyway because he's a neutron and he's my father. OGs don't even tell each other information because we're smart. We don't ask questions because we're smart, because we're trained that way not to ask questions unless you want to get locked up. So anyway, so then they ended up finding out the son had guns. So then they probably looked up to see if he had a FOID card, which is the license to be legal with the guns in Illinois. Then if he didn't have a FOID card, then he illegally had guns. So then they went to his crib. Easy to find out the mother son's crib. And then go ahead and send CPD there to say you fucked with the wrong guy. He's on a federal investigation for wanting to assassinate a man and then his entire family. So your guns are illegal. We finna take your guns. And unless you're gonna federal informant and fucking threaten his life tomorrow, when he texts your mom the next time, you should have the fucking phone. And then when he texts her, you better threaten his fucking life on the phone call. That's exactly what happened. So now I was thinking about it. I was like sitting down in my crib. I wasn't running around like a little bitch. I didn't even leave my apartment. And he was like, I'm going to go to your apartment right now. I was like, well, she know what floor I live on. Let me think about this one. I'm like, either he had FI, which I doubt, because this happened yesterday. But they could investigate him. If he was a felon, he wasn't supposed to have guns, so then it was illegal. But maybe he isn't. And I met him in the elevator. He totally looked like a neutron, especially in Indian German. And you have to be a Hispanic to be a Latin king. You have to be a Hispanic to be a maniac Latin disciple. Blacks doesn't matter. Back and forth doesn't matter either. You know, Kix D told me he was a GD before he came at MLD. As long as you're disciples, that's all that matters. And I have a Latin king best friend, a maniac Latin disciple best friend, so 5 and 6. So my Fast D, my rap career next year is going to be 5 Fast D6. And because I'm going to represent folks and people, something I've never ever seen a hot rapper do before. I can freestyle right now, but if y'all haven't seen me freestyle, then Jesus Christ. What the fuck? I freestyle live on Instagram just to show you. I even close my eyes and freestyle so you can show you. And so if you don't think I'm going to be one of the hottest rappers to come out of the Northwest Chicago, Illinois next year to compete against the Southside rappers, Disciple, which I found out by Google that nigga's a disciple. What's his name? Not Ron Strong. Montana 300. I've never met him a day in my life. So, you know, one day I'm sure the record studios are going to put us together to collab, which is a collaboration if you don't understand slang. And our collaboration is going to go fucking viral. The last video I seen of Montana 300 has 70 million views on YouTube. I don't know about his Spotify. And 33 million is the average for a Chirac remix. So when we make a Chirac together, Northwest to the South Side, game over. Lights out. I'm going to look hot. I'm going to shave my shit. I might dye this shit a little bit. I might just leave it gray. I don't know. I'm making decisions. I might just shave all this shit off. I'm going to be a young motherfucking MLD. You know, I can cut my hair off all the way, do whatever the fuck I want. And, you know, he a young looking nigga, so he's probably in his 30s. And his Chirac, was it a remix? Yeah, his Chirac remix, he said his mom was a crackhead or a drug addict. I'm trying to be respectful. And his father was a killer. So those were his parents. You know, my mom was not a crackhead. My father was not a killer. Then I became a maniac Latin disciple. Now, the only reason I became a maniac Latin disciple was because the first murder I witnessed, The second murder, a second murder, killed body. I rode my bike around. By the time I came 14, I was like, man, I live in the hood, man. I live in a ghetto of Chirac, man. The Chicago, it wasn't even called Chirac back then. Chicago hood, man. I was like, what the fuck? We came Chirac after 98 and 2001 took place. 9/11. And that's a whole nother story from me. And, because the ATA Airlines, I know the vice president set it up. So, another dangerous thing to say. I can't prove it, so it doesn't matter. FBI went and took all the videotapes from the fake plane that hit the Pentagon. It was probably just a little small plane, if it was a plane at all, for the witness sake. All of a sudden, there was appointments for those people to be on the other side of the building. Blah blah blah. Yeah. You're going to see me go viral with rap music. And I'm going to use that ability to make me a famous actor. And then when I take those two things to make me famous in Chicago, Illinois, not that half the people know me in these 5 buildings, 3,300 people know me by my full name. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run for the mayor of the city of Chicago. If you don't think famous people can become mayors of the city of Chicago, you're dead wrong. If you don't think motivational speakers of all types are phenomenal, you're dead wrong. Actually, you're dead right, because there's a lot of bad motivational speakers that suck. Terrible dick. Terrible. There's a lot of neutron rappers that are fucking terrible. I'll be on TikTok and I'll see these neutrons, especially this countryman. I was like, oh, I don't even know how to rap to this. He's like, oh, I'm like, would you freestyle? And he's like, I'm like, do you know how to rap? He's like, oh, I know how to rap. So then he had all the people watching and stuff. And then I was like, oh, I would love to hear you freestyles. I'm joking inside because I know this man don't know how to freestyle. I'm assuming this white man didn't know how to freestyle. But if you're a hood white man, you know how to freestyle. So then he starts freestyling. It was terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. So then I was just like, well, I try with these TikTokers. I've seen some hood niggas on there rapping. You can tell the difference between a hood nigga and a non-hood nigga. And the hood niggas are tight. Hood niggas are hot. I'll rap with them. He's trying to do 8 bars the first Saturday of December. And because he goes with non-neutrons, I'll rap with them. And I'll freestyle without swearing. I can freestyle without swearing right now. I'm not in the mood to rap. That's why I'm not doing it. I got to see like a Chirac music video for me to rap. Man, fuck it. Let me find something. Now I'm getting in the mood right now. I'm getting the fucking mood. What else is new? Gotta YouTube this shit. Middle of the night, can't play it loud. This is just to prove to you who the fuck I really am. Doom 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 doom. Well, I can't play Hit This if I put it on YouTube. I was gonna put a Chirac remix Montana 300, but I can't do that because of copyright bullshit. That's how you cancel your account. Alright, fuck it. Hold on, let me go to my favorite beat. Gotta have favorite beats. Hour 22. It's my favorite for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because it had like 44 million views the first time I saw it. Till I die. I got one person. This not a cursing. This the version of the TikTok not rehearsing. You don't know me, MLD OG from the 6 from the 5-6. I'm a savage fast D. You don't know me. Thought you know, remember fix. You don't know me. I can represent the 5 to the 6. I can tell you goddamn to the it. You don't know me on the TikTok type of flip. I can go with the gun, clip the Glock 9 or the Glock 10. Now you know it. You can go ahead. I can flow it with the bone quips. You don't know when my eyes close, I control it. You don't know me. I can be an MLD OG till I die. Now you know why. I can represent till I can die. If you don't realize this, not a surprise. This will be my demise. You don't know I'ma leave alive until I piece of prize. You don't know me, black and brown guys. You don't know me. Now you know why. I'm a disciple, not from the Bible. 10,000 years I sage a rifle. 6,000 to 18, they don't know so 8,000 years ago, dealt disciples. You don't know the disciples were liars about 2100, 2021. You don't know me with a handgun. You don't know me like a man mun. You don't know a man's son. You don't know mice and men. You don't know one. You don't know with the pull trigger shotgun. You don't know me like a flat run. The security finna come up with your low bun. I don't give a fuck cause I like rhyme guns. Don't know these cause so cracked to nuns. Now I sold weed till conspiracy runs. I don't give a fuck cause I love packing guns. Now you know me from the slums, the ghetto slums, now Chirac ones. Before that was called Chi-Town, Chicago. Now you know that I'm part black and brown. Now you know Chi-Town, I represent the town. If you don't know me, I can represent right now. You don't know me, I'ma tell you, I don't know you. You will never know me, silent dude. I'm a silent public figure and I'm private in my life. I'm public in my strife. You don't know me with the little knife. I got 2 knives on me every day. I don't give a fuck if you are CIA. I could tell you every day. I love my knife carrying tactics. You don't know me that I love gun tactics. You don't know me, I'm a real lunatic type of shit, a real gun tactic. I can tell you with my eyes open quick. I can tell you with my eyes closed type of shit. I'ma do this one song type of quick cause I can do 2-3 mix. I rap for 44 minute type shit. I asked 2 neutrons if they could do it. They said no, goddamn it. You can 44 minutes, that's rap type of shit. That's bravery type of shit. You a rap trap nigga, I'm a rap trap type of nigga. You don't know me, I pull the trigger in your fucking face. I don't give a fuck, MLD waste. Fucking your blood in the sun comes shotguns in your motherfucking face. One, you don't understand me. I like shooting 6 times in your face. Make your show know you was 2 rhymes. It's called spitting game and the spitting rhymes. You don't know me every fucking time. You just thought you knew the 2-3. Now you know me. You don't know a real OG. Thought you knew when MLD disciples chose the Bible all the way to 2021. You don't know me. Handgun, you know one. 2,000 years of living in Tesla ones. You don't know me here packing all the guns. AK-47, AR-15 ones. You don't know I had 2 Uzi nuns. You don't know me. Had to throw them away. On a psych ward. You don't know me, I had a port. You don't know I love smoking all the fucking Newports. Now I make my own cigarettes cause I'm really smart. I finna go ahead and start empire with the bark. I hope y'all like that, man. I hope who was watching this liked it the God way too. So that was it.